Hello everyone, this is Cliff. Welcome back to our Let's Play of Dark Souls, the Prepare to Die edition. Now, we have equipped this Dark Moon Seance ring that we acquired in the catacombs, and this turns, this was a big statue of Gwyn. Once you equip that ring, it turns it invisible, or it's an illusory wall that disappears. So once you go down here, you get some dialogue. You can actually... Caster, yes, he is a caster. If you kneel, you can join. Here we go.
Thou hast journeyed far. Hear my voice. If thou shalt swear by the covenant to become a shadow of Father Gwyn and Sister Guinevere, a blade that shall hunt the foes of our lords, then I shall protect thee, safeguarding thy person with the power of the Dark Moon.
And I'm going to say no because...
We shall not need speech. Exit here and follow thine own design.
Because I like the covenant I'm in now. Now this is a boss fog. So if you traverse the white light, you will break the covenant and you will be in a fight with a boss that does mostly ranged attacks in a very long hallway. He's not terribly difficult if you can catch up to him. That seems to be the biggest catch, actually catching the guy. And pretty much you can lay a beat down on him. Most of his attacks are ranged. He does have some pretty high damage attacks, so I would highly recommend, and I'll show you that boss fight a little bit later once we finish the Painted World of Ariamis. Let's see, I would definitely use this spell stone plate ring here. That's a very... The problem with this item is it doesn't really do a whole lot. Only 25 points for magic, flame, and lightning. Anyway, that little intro aside, next I'm gonna pull this elevator switch and get it down to our level, and then we will head toward the Painted World of Ariamis. I will see you there. Okay, so unfortunately I had to end up doing the commentary for this little section after filming the video. So basically what you want to do is climb up these rotating stairs. You don't have to actually move these stairs at all. As long as they're at the very bottom where the bonfire is, you should be good to go. So basically we're going to head through this archway over here, and this is going to put us on the very bottom level of the first cathedral we ran through. Now, we were up on the ceiling when we come through here the first time, and the major enemy here are painted guardians, and they do have a ranged attack, as you can see, but at this point in the game they're mostly going to be an annoyance. Now they do leave a few items, a few different items, obviously throwing knives, and you can also grab the swords that they use. That's kind of a rare, I think that's a rarer drop than the throwing daggers though. So basically you just avoid the daggers and you can block pretty much everything they throw at you. Now I found out that, as you can see, this Quelaag's Fury Sword is not doing as much damage, and that's probably due to the fact that I don't have any humanity stocked. They can heal up, as you see, but really if you're using this a weapon that's as powerful as this Lightning Uchi Katana, they shouldn't have a chance. 2 hits pretty much kills them. One good casting of a pyromancy spell will pretty much end their life as well. So that one almost got healed up. Not that it would have mattered a whole lot, but like I say, you'll pick up a ton of throwing knives, but you do need a couple of these. You can use these when you get into the Painted World to knock down some bodies that are hanging. And you've seen this in other levels. That is the ceiling light that we knocked down when we first come through here, and you do get that sorcery item from that. Again, not too much of a problem. Now sometimes you do get some weird AI moments like you have over there, where they can't seem to figure out what's going on. So I just kind of put them out of their misery with Great Fireball, and that did a massive amount of damage. I probably could have used the Fire Orb and killed them, but just want to kind of take it easy one at a time if you can. You could probably take on a couple of guys at the same time. They shouldn't be too much of a problem at this point. If you come in here a little bit earlier, obviously you'll have to be a little bit more careful. Now, this item set that you see right here, that is the item set of the guy that helped us out with the Iron Golem. Apparently he come through this area and didn't quite make it through the rafters in the ceiling like we were able to, and I for some reason had to run back over here and get this item. Again, once you get one of their swords, that's pretty much the only real special item they've got. Those throwing knives at this point in the game are neat only for a couple of very specific applications, so you shouldn't need a whole lot of them. Now, to enter this world, you have to have the peculiar doll. And I think actually my peculiar doll is in my box, and that still doesn't matter. As long as you've got it, you get that in the Northern Undead Asylum when you revisit it. As long as you've got that, you should be good to go. You'll get this little cutscene here. Okay, so that leads us into the Painted World. Obviously, you cannot go that way. You can only go one way on this bridge. Now, once you enter here, you cannot leave until you get to the crossbreed Priscilla. And I'll show you in a few minutes what will happen. Now, I'm going to change this weapon out to Quelaag's Fury Sword, and that is because there are bloated hollow in this level, and if you do not kill them with fire, or a weapon that does fire damage, they will explode and kind of create a cloud of toxin, which is very aggravating. So, despite the fact that it's not doing as much damage as the lightning Uchigatana at this point, I'm still going to use it. And again, this one's cut off from others. I think once you do the Priscilla, meet Priscilla, crossbreed Priscilla, no matter what way you go forward, if you just choose not to attack her and leave, or if you choose to kill her, I think that is when this bonfire becomes a warp pool again. Now, don't hold me to that. You may end up having to come back using the peculiar doll. And again, these hollow right here aren't very bad. They're maybe a little bit stronger than the ones we've already faced, but at this point should be no problem. Now, this is one of the areas where you can use the throwing dagger. Now, it's kind of aggravating because there's no cursor as to where your knife is going to land, so it becomes really annoying to try to figure out where you're throwing it. See, yeah, you have no clue. The only way you can kind of halfway do this is to equip the binoculars and use them as an item. And when you move around using the binoculars, it will kind of face your player towards that direction. So you kind of line that up in the middle of your screen, and then you chuck the knife. And if you hit the body, you're good to go. It'll drop down. Now you can wait on that, and you can go around. There's a little balcony, and you can go around and cut the body down using any weapon at that point. This just gives you the item a little bit earlier. Now you've still got several of these kind of normal hollow that you'll have to face. At this point in time, nothing in the game should be nothing that you face at this point should be difficult. No. I do make a few mistakes in here that could have cost me, And I'll show you these in a few minutes, but I'm just going to go around. And as you can see, even when they hit, they don't do a whole lot of damage. But we're just going to go up on top of this kind of ruined tower here. Let's see, we grab this item. It's just a soul item. Now what we didn't track and what I didn't see until it was almost too late is these crow enemies right here. These things can actually do pretty decent damage to you. Now fortunately I can force them into this room where their flying abilities don't help them a whole lot. Once you can actually kind of stay on top of them, they're not too bad. They do have a pounce attack that takes off a considerable amount of damage, and you'll actually see that later. I completely forgot about that attack and got hit by it. Now this is one of the bloated hollows that I was telling you about, and they have magic using cousins, so just be aware. I don't know why I was throwing a dagger there. Now I'm going to try not to enhance this bonfire, or that first bonfire, the only bonfire. I just don't see a reason to. Most of these enemies should be pretty simple. Again, just taking care of the archers. They have pretty good range. Obviously that guy can hit me from all the way over there. So we're just gonna run. There's nothing we can do about that guy. He's right there. So once you get in here, you've got a few bloated enemies, and that guy can still hit you with arrows. So just be careful. I get hit right there for no good reason. So just use the columns if you can to keep from getting burned. These guys aren't too bad. Like I say, the biggest worry is that toxic effect if you do not have a fire weapon. So as you can see, there's a couple of items up above us here. So what we're going to do is come over here and take care of this archer, just so that we're not having to worry about him shooting stuff at us the entire time. There's two guys that surprise you, quote unquote surprise you at this point. They shouldn't be too difficult at this juncture in the game. Now I contemplated jumping down there, but I didn't want to get killed. I don't think there's a very easy, safe ledge to reach. So we just decided to come back inside. Now I get a little turned around at one point in here because this is kind of one of those areas that once you do, you're through with. I would say it's very much like New Londo Ruins. So my recollection of the map at this point was a little sketchy. Now we're going to jump across here to grab that item over there and to grab a few items a little bit lower. Now I was trying to find a ledge. I thought you could roll across instead of having to jump, but I couldn't find the ledge to do that. So it's not an awful jump. They're certainly worse in this game. So we're going to drop down here, and you could see as I was walking down that there was a guy who was going to jump over the ledge. But like I say, at this point, that's not a big deal. You should be killing just about every one of the... If you're not killing those enemies in one hit, you've probably been doing something wrong with leveling your weapons. Or you hadn't leveled your weapons at all. Now that noise you hear is actually the rats that are in here. These are a little bit different. They're actually white colored. Same basic attack. I think they do a little bit more damage if they should happen to hit you. But again, just like the other rats, they can drop humanity, which is a very cool item. But at this point, we can farm it pretty easily. That's a painted set. and this we come into this courtyard and we can't do anything in here. There's nothing. So now that we've accomplished everything we can, we're just going to run back up here. As you can hear, there are other rats in this area as well. Now in one part of this level, we're going to face some of those pinwheel skeletons, and they're still kind of aggravating, but at this point we're going to face them in a much tighter area, which makes them a little bit more aggravating. You may want to make sure that you've got pretty decent shields, stability wise, a decent shield. Now you can see the guy hanging off the edge there. He's gonna attack, no big deal. And we also got an egg vermifuge if you did not get that from the Daughter of Chaos area, or if you had to use it, you can get another one. Now that dragon off in the distance will come to life a little bit later on. Okay, so now we enter, at this point we enter kind of a courtyard area, and I'll show you how to get that item probably in the next video. I don't know what I was looking for. This is the point in the video where I kind of lost my bearings. So I actually go all the way back to the beginning, and that's kind of a good thing because I did forget something in this this area right here. I forgot to cut this guy down, and that just gives you humanity. You'll see that a little bit later on. Now you can go down that well that you just barely saw, and you have to watch those slimes that are around that statue. Now that item we will also get a little bit later. I believe that is Velka's rapier. There's actually a illusory wall that will open up and grab that. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to head back. And go back through this part of the tower, which is kind of where we were. Now obviously at first I jumped down here to escape the raven enemies, but I forgot that there was this kind of basement area here. There's a couple of rats in here, one right there and one over here. That's what I get for not locking on. But again, those guys aren't any problem either, and if you really want to get humanity, I would recommend doing the depths. They're just higher concentration of rats. And I don't know why I dropped back down there, that was just stupid. So at this point I'm just trying to figure out, now that area off to the left we'll do in the second video on item collection here. Once I saw that fog gate right there, I was like, okay. So we'll start heading that way, and again, apologies for getting turned around. So at this point, we're gonna go out here, and this tower area, do not drop down there. Do not drop down there. There's a raven enemy over there, or crow enemy. I don't know exactly. Whichever your animal you prefer. Now you can use that ring there to drop down on the ledge, and we'll do that probably in the second video. But now you do want to watch out. Again, that sword's not doing what it's supposed to do. Watch out when they start to do this. I've completely forgotten about this attack here. And as you can see, that does a ton of damage. So I just quickly S this up, because fortunately they're not apparently in the mood to constantly attack. Now he probably should have hit me at that point, but he didn't. So we're gonna go all the way up this spiral staircase here. And it does seem to get a little narrow. You just want to be careful. There is that guy up above there. And I had plans on cooking him, but unfortunately he decided to take the quick trip down instead of allowing me to kill him. So we're going to walk up here. Just be very careful. At this point, if you drop, you probably will die. So that red soapstone basically does the same thing as the cracked red eye orbs. You can drop it down, and people can summon you to fight against them. Okay, we're going to drop off here, like so. Grab that soul item, and that lets us drop back off onto this staircase. I don't know why I rolled like that. That was kind of stupid. But at this point, both of the enemies are on the ground floor, as you can see. Again, don't jump off there. You can jump onto that ledge that's across from me right now, and you will have to do that to get a few items. So once I figured out, hey, there's no way I can jump down, then I was like, oh, okay, I knew where to go from this point. If you come out here, you'll go around. Now, if you go too far on this bridge, you will actually get that dragon that's off in the distance. He will actually start to come after you. So that's obviously the enemy that fell down the steps, since he's missing a good bit of hit points. And we're just going to take care of this one real quick. Nothing too major here. So again, didn't want to aggro that dragon, so we just come down through this area, and this will lead us off to the steps. Now this door, if you want to do this properly, you have to go get an item, which is very well defended. I think we're going to take the kind of cheat route. Estus up before you hit this fog gate. And I wish I'd saved one of my fireballs, because this is that group of slimes is very much like the first boss of the first game. As you can see, they like to throw spears, and they're very well defended in the front. They don't have a lot of hit points, but they are kind of aggravating to actually attack. I'm going to cook as many as I can. I actually got 2 on that one. And try to use the wall to my advantage. Now that was kind of a wasted one. And I short-armed that one for some reason. Now they are very, very good at adjusting. So once they rear back, you still have to be careful, because they are very good at switching their spear throw angle at the last minute. Like that one. I was pretty much on his side, and he was still able to get me with that spear. So just keep your shield up, like I say. And don't attack them from the front, because they do have shields. So we'll just mop up this last guy. They don't give that many souls, honestly. They're kind of aggravating for the amount of souls they give, but if you do have some decent pyromancy, you can pretty much take care of them fairly easily. Just jump them while they're still huddled together as a mass. Got a humanity and a ring of sacrifice. Nice items, but certainly not anything that I desperately need at this point. Now we will come up that stairway over there eventually, and we'll drop down into that well probably in the next video. So we've got a few more little items in this first area to grab. One of them's over here, and we will, yeah, as you can see, there's going to be tons of enemies that jump out and attack us. Like I say, at this point, an ambush of that size and those enemies shouldn't be much of a problem. So we'll grab all those, get a soul item. Now, if you did not cut down, if you didn't cut down that first body, that's where you just do a simple sword attack and that body will drop. Okay, so we're going to run through here. We're not going to mess with that yet. That takes us into a very potentially dangerous area. So we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to drop off here. Eat a little bit of damage. Now there's a good many just standard hollow with torches in here. So just want to be careful because sometimes those bodies will kind of mask guys. I rolled on that guy. Now, if you are in human form and you start to search around these bodies with the items, a black phantom will invade. And I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. He gives you an item set that will look very familiar to people who play Demon Souls. I may end up doing that encounter just for the heck of it. But grab these 3 items while you're over here. Now at this point you can do a little bit more item collecting, but I'm just gonna open up the the shortcut and hit the bonfire and be done with this first video. In the next video I'm going to do a little bit more item collecting. I want to try to get the Dark Ember, and then at that point it will be a video run into the boss to take on Crossbreed Priscilla. Hopefully I'll actually have a decent amount of Estus Flask. I swear I don't want to have to use Estus Flask, have to use Humanity to build this bonfire up. So until next time, we will grab some items next time. Until then, this has been Cliff. I hope everybody takes care. See you soon.